Hey, welcome back. This is Russell Linville, Sports PT. Become a Better Human Project. And today is a Move Better Monday. We talk about movement prep for the lumbar spine. If you feel tight or stiff or those sorts of things, what can you do before you work out as a movement preparation to get your low back and your hips and things feeling better, feeling more loose, feeling more mobile. And so I just want to show you a few of the go-tos I have pre-workout. That I do and that I give my clients to do when appropriate, obviously based on their current injury or their stage of healing, right? Probably need to be asymptomatic to do these. Otherwise, you have other things you need to work on. But movement prep for a workout, whether that's a heavy barbell workout or whether that's just competing in your sport. You may have a history of low back issues, you might have that sort of thing. But it's going to be individualized. These are some of the ones that I like to do. Overall, they're pretty benign, but check if you've had back pain, check with your doctor, make sure these are okay. So the first one I want to do is called a Jefferson curl. And sometimes people do these with weights, sometimes they don't. But essentially, it's breaking some of the rules that we've followed for a long time in terms of keeping a neutral spine. This is actually doing exactly the opposite. And it's been used in the gymnastics world for years, trying to improve spinal mobility into forward flexion. And so the way that that's done is you're going to stand about shoulder width apart. Some people will stand all the way, feet together. And I'll turn to the side so you can see me a little better. But we're going to curl, basically, and try to hit every single spinal segment on the way down. We start with a chin tuck, so it looks something like this, followed by a rounding of the shoulders. And then we're going to slowly try to round our thoracic spine all the way to our lumbar spine until we hit the floor. So it looks like this. My hands will go in front, around the neck. Nice and slow. I'm trying to keep my head as close to my body as I can. As I get down lower, I'm going to push my knees straight, lock into extension. We're trying to round the back here. I'm going to go all the way down and attempt to touch the floor. If you can't touch the floor, that's okay. Eventually you might be able to. Then again, slowly roll up, staying close to your body, all the way back up into full stance, and some people will then go into a hyperextended low back at that point. And so what I usually shoot for is about 5 of those, and when it's appropriate, you can then hold some dumbbells here, or a dowel, or even a barbell as you go down. You want to make sure that load is light, because we're trying to control that range of motion, right? We don't want to do anything excessively heavy as we're flexing our spine. And so there's some controversy with this because we're breaking a neutral spine position, but as long as you go slow and controlled with low weight, the spine is very robust. It's meant to tolerate a lot of different forces. This should be perfectly fine. And we don't want to lose spinal flexion, right? Everyone's, in the PT world, we have a lot of people that sit in spinal flexion all the time, but they're stiff in that position. This is going to make you more mobile in spinal flexion. The second thing that I like to do is called an iron cross, and that takes its name again from the gymnastic world, where the guys are on the rings and they're holding their arms out to the side. Except this time, we're going to be laying in supine, arms out to the side. We're going to be kicking one leg over to the opposite hand. Now you can do this, I'll demonstrate in a second, but you can do this repetitions where you kick from one side to the other, or you can do a kick over and hold. The keys here is that when your arms are on the ground, you're trying to keep your shoulders flat to the ground. So as you kick one leg over, you don't want that shoulder to roll up with it, okay? So I'll demonstrate here. You lay onto your back. You're going to lay with your arms out to the side. And then you simply just kick over without letting your opposite side shoulder come off the ground. You go as far as you can. Take a deep breath. You're trying to keep this bottom leg straight as you can. Come back to center. Switch and do the opposite side. Take a deep breath. Try to keep that bottom leg straight. And then return to center. It's a tough one, especially if you haven't done it in a while. We're working on spinal rotation. This is probably more of a thoracolumbar rotation. That's hard to get true rotation through the lumbar spine. But at least here we're working on multi-segmental spinal mobility. All right? And then finally, the last one here is going into a little bit of extension in rotation rather than what we just did, which was flexion and rotation. Extension and rotation is going to be an exercise called the scorpion, And essentially it's the same thing we just did, except you're going to be laying on your stomach. And so I'll demonstrate that as well. You lay onto your stomach, arms out to the side. You take one leg and you're going to try to kick it over towards your opposite hand. Now, unless you're a gymnast or someone who's hypermobile, you're not going to be able to touch your opposite hand, and that's just fine. It looks something like this. Kick over, reach, take a deep breath, come back to center, kick over to the other side, reach, 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 come back to center, and there you have it. Those last couple, I personally like to do repetitions. So if you think about the Jefferson curl, about 5 repetitions, up and down, nice, slow, and controlled low weight. The iron cross and the scorpion, about 5 repetitions to each side, making sure you're doing it nice and controlled. You're taking nice inhales and exhales at the end of those positions. It is normal to get a cavitation in your back, right? So your back might actually crack as you rotate over. Completely normal, harmless. If you're having pain with any of these movements, you should stop, right? Seek out help from a PT or a medical professional. See why your back's hurting you. With that, I wish you good luck in your workouts. This has Become a Better Human project. Today we talked about lumbar spine movement prep, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and share this video with someone you think might need these exercises or would benefit from them, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.